What's up, guys? This is Team Winnings Bryan with the currently last deck in my marathon. As you see, this is Galahad Royal Paladin, otherwise known as Knight of Godly Speed Chain Ride. You have probably heard me several times before rant about how I don't like chain rides. I still even don't like this one. The only reason it's built is because teammate Deaver played it this weekend at the 3v3, and he had a pretty decent amount of success with it, so I'm going to go and portray it. But later on, I'm going to build my version of Royal Paladin, which I play Soul Saver Pendragon for my Royal Paladin in this current one, and I'll show you how I work that. But first, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. First off, you start off with your Drangle. His ability is at the start of your turn, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, and if you have a Knight of Trials Galahad, I think is or Knight of Quests Galahad in those 5, you can ride it. Then take the other 4 cards and put them on the bottom of your deck, pretty much in any order. It helps you trigger stack, but me personally, I've missed the ride chain one too many times and then usually end up losing because of it. But let's go ahead and get him out of here, and I'll go ahead and show you the rest of the deck. Like everything else, 8 crits, run 4 Alabaster Elves, and 4 Bringer of Good Luck Opponent. Probably asking why I'm not running Lose. Simply, they're pretties in my book, and I'd rather just trade them off instead of playing them when I have access to common crits. So, both standard crits, nothing special other than they crit. Then I play 4 Margles, which is the draw trigger, and it has the added effect of add it to soul plus 3,000 power to something. The useful part about Markle in this deck is that Knight of Godly Speed Galahad requires 6 cards in soul. When you get to Knightly God of Speed, if you have the entire ride chain, you're only at 5. So Margle, or as this goes along, Pongle, going to soul actually does help get to his breaking point. And then the next one is 4 Yggdrasil Maidens Elaine. Heal trigger, nothing really spectacular. Alright, now we go on to the ones. Naturally, 4 flashy results. It's your perfect guard for Royal Paladins. Discard a Royal Paladin, call this the Guardian Circle. Target Royal Paladin under attack can't be hit this turn, pretty much. So, naturally, I play 4 of all perfect guards in all decks, regardless of whether it's convenient or not. Then the next card that's part of the chain ride is Knight of Quests Galahad. It does the exact same thing as Drangle, except when you reveal the top 2, you're looking for a Knight of Tribulations Galahad. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. You're trying to chain ride this entire thing off, and I'll show you why it's so useful to chain ride this entire thing off. And then the next is 3 Pongles. The alternate grade 3 in this deck is Soul Saver Dragon, since this deck does build Soul. It helps if you miss the Galahad ride and you just want to hold on to your Galahads in your hand while you beat them down with Soul Saver. Counterblast 1, add it to Soul, go search your deck for a Soul Saver and add it to hand. Alright, and then for 8k Vanilla Beaters, which is Little Sage Moran. Nothing spectacular. We're going to go ahead and throw them over here. On to the grade 2s. The deck plays 4 Knight of Tribulation, Galahad. It does the same thing as Galahad and Drangle when you, at the start of your ride phase, look at the top 5 of your deck, look for a Knight of Godly Speed Galahad, and ride it. This card has an additional ability of if you ride a Knight of Godly Speed Galahad on it, you can Soul Charge 2, which you want to do because you want to try and have the 6 in Soul for you to use Galahad's ability. Let's go ahead and toss him over here. This one, really just because I like different artwork as to why you can actually just play 4 of one of them and it doesn't matter. I play 2 Knight of Silence Galatine and 2 Knight of Determination. Yes, Determination Lamarick. They're just 10k beaters. You can play 4 of him, you can play 4 of him, 3, 1, 2, 2, it doesn't matter. Just 4 10k beaters. And then 3 Blaster Blades. May seem kind of unorthodox, but there's just sometimes where you're playing against someone and you want to kill that Palamedes, or you want to kill that Juggernaut. He helps you achieve that. Especially if you ride him as the Vanguard early game. If you miss your ride, you can just kill anything. But if you play him in rear guard, you counterblast 2, you retire a grade 2 or higher. So it lets you hit the interceptors and also lets you hit big threats. Always good to be holding on to one of these. Now the grade 3s in this deck, there's 4 Knight of Godly Speed Galahad, His first ability is the main reason why I don't like this particular ride chain. If you do not have the entire ride chain in your soul, he gets power minus 2000. That's wherever he is. It doesn't matter if he's Vanguard or Rearguard. He goes from being an 11k to a 9k. So he goes from being a very strong Vanguard to a very weak Vanguard. His other abilities, if you have 6 cards in Soul, you can counterblast 2. If you do, he gains power 3000 and crit +1. You can only activate this ability in the Vanguard slot. So 9 times out of 10, you want to get your ride chain, especially trying to go 2 to 3. If you miss the 1, you can survive, but you really want the 2 to 3 to get the extra soul charge too. At that point, you can always use a Pongal or Margle to get the 6 soul and still push him up to being a 12 with an 8k booster behind him with 2 crit, and still make him a threat. Other than that, the other grade 3 is 3 Soul Saver Dragons. If you miss the Galahad ride, this card is amazing. If you get the Galahad ride and hit them one good time, this card's amazing. No matter what, this card's amazing. It's pretty much just that simple. When it comes into play, you can Soul Blast 5, and if you do, 3 units you control gain power 5000 for the turn. So what you usually do is you power up your 2 front rear guards and your Vanguard, or your back Vanguard supporter, or you just pump all 3 backs. It doesn't really matter, as long as you have 3 targets to hit with it. His other ability is when it attacks a Vanguard, it gains power plus 3000. So you can have a Pongal or a Maron, usually a Maron in this case, and you're swinging as a 21k column, which is really good. It's pretty cut and dry from there. Like, there's no crazy awesome combos or anything other than the ride chain, and the ride chain is pretty self-explanatory. As always, comment, like, subscribe, ask questions, do whatever you need to do. I'm always here to help and post more videos. The next video I'm going to do later in the week is going to be my Tachikaze video. I'm just waiting on my Gigarexes. And I'm still debating on whether I'm actually going to build Dark Irregulars this set. Normally I build everything, but I find the current Amon version to be very weak just because they have 8 stands, and that deck does not need to be standing. Like, there's no real purpose for it to stand unless you're trying to get another shot at Demon Eater. That's the only so far use I've found for a stand in that deck. Other than that, team winnings, Bryan out. Oh, and after I do the Tachikaze video, expect another rant video. It is called Kagero's Flicking You Off Since Day 1. So be on the lookout for that. You will thoroughly enjoy it, hopefully laugh, yada yada, so on and so forth. Team winnings, Bryan out.